How do you, when you're in this field, one is how do you equip yourself as well as, being a facilitator? What are some of the elements which goes into it?
Okay. So in terms of preparation for facilitators, I think the first and foremost that they need to do is to be aligned with God. And as a especially a Christian facilitator, uh, you draw from Him, right? So quiet time, there is no compromise or excuse. You like it, you don't like it, you do it. You commune with God first
Yeah,
before you meet the rest of the people.
that is.
And Jesus did it quite often,
Yeah.
right? That is one. Two, I think it's the whole aspect of uh, giving.
Mm.
Uh, Facilitation is not about giving from what you have alone, but also seeing that there is a lot more the people around you are bringing, and your job is to take and give to the rest of the group.
Super.
Right? And in terms of skills, I think you need to be sharp. You need to work on it. Uh, the second thing I'll say is always be open to feedback. Uh, Even as simple as a feedback as to how you say a word yellow, right? I used to pronounce it really badly. And Linda used to correct me. And even had sign languages that I'm saying it wrong. Right? And be humble to have and take those feedbacks. Right? And when you take simple feedbacks and you ask for feedbacks, the second thing to sharpen as facilitators that you will grow. Right? The third thing I think the facilitator need to really be on top of is do not come unprepared.
Okay.
I'm not saying you memorize and come. I'm not saying that you need to be the expert in that, but you prepare. If you can't remember, have small chit cards where you can have some notes and it's okay to see it in front of a group, but you need to come prepared. And the third thing is look out what you can learn new. A fourth thing. So first is communion with God, two, getting those feedbacks, three, prepared. And four for me is you need to always look out for what you can learn new.
Wow. Wow. That's so
And,
true. Yeah.
and it's okay to learn from a new facilitator. It's okay to copy what another facilitator is doing.
So good.
Sometimes we think that we need to be original and we are not humble enough to copy. But what you copy might be the most effective for that group which you are giving.
What a twist, yes. Yes.
And I think that's what makes a great facilitator.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. The fact to be, to communion with God and to be prepared and to, and to take feedback. It's brilliant. And to learn some new things, even from a younger. Sometimes you don't want to learn from a younger thing. We want to show off our skills, isn't it? Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Robbie, how do you, when you're working in a corporate field, it is totally a different field, in terms of managing expectations. How do you do that? Because sometimes in the Christian circle, anything and everything goes because we are so much about grace, and there's hardly anything. But in the corporate world, there are expectations, isn't it?
Okay, I'm going to flip the script there. Why should a church program and a corporate program be different? Why should what you deliver for a church and a corporate be different? I think we need to have a certain standard for ourselves and how we deliver. And doesn't matter who the audience is, because I think end of the day we serve for an audience of one.
Yes, absolutely.
And for me, that was a big change, which I think I learned in Breakthrough, is to, when we deliver with excellence. right? And in terms of managing expectations from a corporate, I feel that we should deal with the corporate the same way we deal with the church, or I'll flip it this way.
Mhm.
We should deal with the church the same way we deal with the corporate. Be really professional with them. Because our God is a God of excellence,
Right. That's right. That's
right?
right.
And why should I tone down what I offer because it's a church or an NGO or anything for that matter, or a free program? I need to maintain the same standards. And I think the moment we do that, the whole question of how do we manage different people goes off. I am operating with the standards and the excellence which I'm called to do. And in terms of understanding expectations, it's a different ball game altogether, right? With corporates, you need to know your audience, what their pain points are, and what you think is they feel the answer is on what the real problem is sometimes. And if we can navigate those conversations there, I think managing expectations become very easy.
Wow.
And for me, it all starts with a conversation. Sometimes we don't sit and talk. We are too quick to give a solution. So,
So, what do you mean by conversation? How do you? Is it just hi, bye, how are you, or what's the
no,
conversation?
you sit down and have a conversation not with the answers in your mind, but rather trying to understand where they are coming from, uh, what they are asking, and what their need is. And to be patient and listen, I think that's where it starts. Sometimes we are not there to listen, we are there to sell.
That's right. That'll be my next question.
And I think the key is to listen. Um, yeah. And for me, I think again I'll go back to Jesus as an example, right? He was there just to have conversations with people sometimes.
Yeah.
With his disciples, it was all conversations. It's not a scheduled class for them to have, right? There are a few places that he taught, but there are a lot of places where he just had conversations. And I think with managing clients, having those conversations is something we need to do.
Wow. Oh, that's really an insight. But how do you do a sales pitch? You come from a sales background.
Yeah.
You're managing sales.
Yeah.
For many of us, it seems to be a quite hard task. How do you do a sales pitch, and how do you get the business?
So for me, in terms of sales, it's pretty simple, right? One, I'm there to serve them. Yeah. Two, I'm there to help them move to the next level. And three, I'm there to do business, right? They are benefiting, I am getting benefited. Let me be very clear about it and not say, oh, I'm only serving and I'm not getting benefited. I am getting benefited. But at the same time, two things are very important: being honest, whether you can really serve or not. Two, what you're going to serve. And if we can be honest about it, I think that is 90% of the battle done. Then comes your what you add value, what problem it's solving, and things like that, right? A lot of times we think that I have to solve a particular problem, and the way we present our solution also matters. And to do the due diligence before you go for the sales pitch also shows in the way you approach the sale. So for me, there's something I think I need to really clarify. When I say due diligence, it's not about, oh, what do I learn from it and how do I get something out of it, but actually genuinely taking time to know who they are and what they are going through. Sometimes we are looking at, oh, what can I learn from it? How can I manipulate and get it done? Yeah. I think that should not be the approach in sales. Wow. Who they are, what is that they want, and can I genuinely offer it? for me is a sale.
Wow. That's brilliant. But how do you structure a sales pitch, or even in terms of when you put a financial
Mm.
proposal to them? Are there any key elements that would you like to share in?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so there should be key elements. Very true. One, we are not there to fleece them. We should give genuine value for what you offer. At the same time, you should not also undersell, right? Key elements for me will be what is that you have promised and can you deliver it to the fullest? And are you clearly setting expectations at the beginning itself, not halfway through while things are going on? And if you can have those conversations very clear. And in terms of pitches, is more than focusing on what you have and to focus on what they need. I'll explain. I went into a call and I realized that we were not the right people for this. Right? And I said, hey, I can do only this bit. This bit I am not skilled at. I am not the right person. I think for what you are asking in this particular time, it's not possible. I can only do this. I was very clear about it and I walked off, and they called, and within a month called and gave back the biggest deal I've ever closed. Right? I think that is where knowing what you offer, knowing what you cannot offer also is a very integral part of the sale. And at the same time, not undermining what you offer also. And you need to hold your ground sometimes, and it's fine. Because if you're respecting them and offering them, I think the client also should have equal respect on what you are offering. And that's a proper sale.